I'm starting recording. All right. How's everybody doing?
We're back.
We're back. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, while we were, those of you who were on earlier, if you're still there, we were talking about some of the fun stuff we had with the early episodes. And what just happened to us is one of the things that we had the most fun with. Don't you agree?
Yeah, when you had them show bloopers.
Right, because I'll tell you, for those who don't know, and some of you do know, but the episode we did, episode 3, when Reverend Carnell Richardson was on talking about youth in the church, we had some technical problems with the sound. And it was a wonderfully viewed episode, but we couldn't post the original Facebook video because Facebook had problems. The one we posted out on Mixcloud and to YouTube, because we do have a YouTube channel now. Same name, things my mother never told me. The audio and those were perfect, but what we put out on Facebook, not so much. And then, and then the first episode that we published with Dr. Esther, it was perfect. It was, oh my God, the views were high. Everybody was chiming in. We had a good old time. And then after we got finished, Brandise asked me a question because I'm in charge of starting to record, and we didn't record it. So we literally had to redo it so that we could post it to our podcast site. The video that was on Facebook was fine, was perfect.
So I gotta go test 1, test 2. Can y'all hear me?
They can't hear you. We can hear you. I don't know about
okay.
That. I can't get to the main thing now.
Got it. Okay. You know that delay, so I just had to wait till I could hear it in my
okay
on the show. But yeah, I'm good. Okay. I wasn't talking, that's why y'all couldn't hear me. They like, we can't hear you. I'm like, I ain't saying nothing yet.
Let's see, I can't see what's going live. So I don't know if y'all heard what I said earlier, what me and Tynia said earlier. I hope you did. Brandise was chiming in with hers. But we were talking about our numbers and episodes and the views, and we really want to thank each and every one of you for listening, for sharing, and for making it in my mind, it's a moderate success because we're reaching a lot of people and we're getting some good information out. We will tell you that the most fun we had, and I got to say this, you don't like to put people out like that, but the most fun we had was the episode that we did off schedule.
Yeah.
We got together on a Saturday because we had Danielle Ragland, Danny Devereaux, or Devare, whatever she called herself on Facebook.
I call her Danny.
Right, Danny, just Danny. She couldn't join us on our regular day Wednesday, so we came in on Saturday. And test at 4 o'clock and not at 6:30.
Did I lose y'all?
No, that's me.
Oh, you make me nervous.
No. I got nervous because I had the Facebook on and the old video was playing, and that's what I just turned it off.
Hearing two things.
Right, and so that's what we were at when we found out you couldn't hear us. So that everybody knows that while we're doing this show live, Brandise is in the background taking care of all the stuff. The comments that you make, she's responding to them. She's cueing us on stuff that's going on, questions you're asking, and she's keeping us abreast of what's happening because it's kind of hard for us to do it while we're interviewing people. So she's the machine that makes this work. So every once in a while, if there's a glitch on her side,
as seen by today.
That's what happens. So we apologize for that, but technology is technology.
It's gonna be technology.
Right. So what I was saying was the show we did with Danny was we had put a good time, and I wish it could have been done during the regular time slot so that the regular folks could have been on and see it live.
The regular.
Because we had a ball, we had a blast. She is a pistol, if you will.
I think I cackled too much. I really did because, first of all, she is a comedian.
Yes.
And like you said, and she was funny.
Yes.
So.
And she had some very insightful comments that she made about life in general and then about life in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
And my 2 cents, of course, I didn't know that she went to church with you guys, and I met Danny I want to say freshman and sophomore year at Western Michigan University, and we were in what we call CIP, and it was Christians in Performance, and basically for our collegiate Black and Christian, basically the small group community that we had on campus for Christians, Black Christians. It was open to anybody, but more so we catered to, African-American students in Christianity. And we had a performance group where basically before our large group leader spoke that evening or talked a Bible study or led the group that night, they would give us a topic and we would come up with like a small skit, maybe 10, 15 minutes, depending on how much time we had. So it was just really good. Like, I've been following her journey and watching her. So it was a really good episode just for me to see, be able to talk to her and see her again. Because, we say hi and bye and passing on social media, but really, being able to see how she's doing well. And just, it was inspiring some of the things that she said that really had me going on. I'm on the back end. I'd be like, ooh, taking notes and typing my comments from my cell phone,
right.
As the viewer on the show too. Sometimes you guys will see me out there while I'm doing all this other stuff, just being like, it was inspiring to hear her say that there's still, a room at the table for people, because we need the voices. And I'm like, that was good for me to hear, because I know that's what I went to school for, film, video, and media studies. And I haven't done much with it since I graduated in 2010. But, just recently in the years, the last few years, I've been able to be like, wow, maybe I need to reignite some of those, that writing and writing plays and different dreams and skits and different, something, find a lane and get in it and do something like that. Because I know social media is big with people, doing skits and stuff like that. But just to hear her say, there's still, room at this big old table because we need our voices and we need to hear our stories. And I was just like, oh my God, yes, thank you for saying that out loud.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. Because, I mean, this COVID-19 thing has been, we've said this before, it's been a curse in so many ways. So many people have lost their loved ones, people lost their lives, sickness, people unemployed, lost their jobs, struggling. But on the other side of that, it's been a godsend for people who are creatives, who have things that they wanted to do that they didn't do, hadn't been doing, been putting it off, and it allowed space. It's still allowing space for us to do those things, because without COVID-19, this podcast wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
And so for that, we're thankful. And it's like May said, joy and pain, sunshine and rain. I mean, you can't have one without the other. It's just
hand to hand.
Yeah, just how you deal with it. And so that's the whole point of this podcast, is for us to get that information out there that we've come in contact with through the years. And it's just amazing. I continue to be amazed at the people who we know who are involved in
stories we've heard. Yes, so much
right.
stuff.
So much stuff already.
I know.
And we've only did basically 9 real episodes outside of us. And the stuff that we've heard, that we've learned, and that we see, and then what we got coming up in the future is just amazing. And I told y'all while we were trying to get the technical difficulties together that I was going to call some people out, and I'm going to call them out in this fashion.
Ooh, and I'm going to let you know, because I'm going to see their comments roll in. But just to double check, though, because I still see some people can't hear. I don't know. Okay, that might have been, okay, Auntie, that might have been your sound on your phone. But it looked like it's worked out, so go ahead.
Oh, that Nanny.
Yeah,
she be doing that.
I can hear me. I got it in my ear. I hear it just fine. So
yeah, she be doing it.
And if I'm looking down, guys, it's because I'm checking, the comments and trying to keep it all still rolling as I'm on the camera. So
well, we found we've been broadcasting that music on Mixcloud that sometimes folks can't hear. when they say it, I start thinking it's me, but it's really them.
Yeah, you start panicking like, oh
Oh
wait,
my
what's
God.
going on?
Yeah, what's going on now?
I've been on here 22 minutes and y'all ain't saying
Ain't
nothing.
saying nothing. Right. So what I wanted to say, because we still have folks that are on the roster that we want to get out here to speak that we have contacted. And we still have some other folks who we have not contacted. We've tried to contact, but we for whatever reason we can't get in contact with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna call them out. Just a couple. One of them I haven't reached out to yet. I was gonna do this week, but Rainey Hamilton, architect extraordinaire.
We're looking for you.
I tried to reach out through, because I don't have his phone number. I tried to reach out to him through instant messenger, which I know was crazy at best. But if you listen, if somebody who really knows him is listening, really close to him, tell him I'm trying to get in contact with him. If you got my number, give it to him. Tell him we want to talk to him, because even though he's out in news publications all the time, and he just had a story he posted on Facebook last week, or was it earlier this week, about a project he did down in Atlanta.
Okay.
But I'd like to get him on here and to have an intimate chat with him, with our audience, if he if he's willing. Todd Esther.
All right.
Todd Esther.
Got another one.
Todd Esther. Todd is a dentist.
Okay.
And he's I'm trying to think what his role is in U of M's dental school, but
he's head.
But yeah, he was head of it that I know of the especially the minority program. So I think we need to get him out and get it.
Okay.
Yeah, get some folks exposed to what he's doing, and then Craig Astor II, playwright. He's a Shakespearean actor, and he's just wrote a play. I was fortunate enough to be on the reading that they did of the play, where they the actors read the script, and I was intrigued.
Yes,
I was really intrigued.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's about it sounds like it's about his life. It's told,
we write from the best places that we know.
Oh yeah, right.
Ask a comedian.
But it was about young folks. It was based on, but not about really about it. But young folks in the church, but through the eyes of Shakespeare, if you will. So that was to me intriguing. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the reading that they did, and hopefully this thing ends so they can put that in, get it out there. And I was wondering, I'm gonna have Tynia talk to Mildred Scott if she want to talk about her story, because for those who don't know, Mildred Scott is in our choir, and once upon a time her name was Millie Scott, jazz singer. Yes, and she was, her and Thea Barnes were the two biggest things in Detroit.
I was gonna say it sounds like I recognize the name.
Oh yeah, well, this was before you was even born.
I mean, just in history, though.
Right. Yeah,
and not only that, she background singing.
She sang with Aretha for years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would like to get her out here and share her story.
Yeah.
And those are the ones up front, because I got some other people who, like I said, they've already said yes. And I want to talk to Destiny.
All right, Destiny McEwen, if you are out there listening,
I want to talk to her.
we're looking for you.
She has one of the most phenomenal stories you ever want to hear.
And I mean phenomenal.
Perseverance in dealing with a serious health issue.
Okay.
And her story, for those who don't know, even for those who know, is one that folks need to hear. And I would, if I can get her on, we'd like to talk with her so she can share. And she's doing big things, helping other folks out with scholarships. She's raising money, helping other folks, and not worrying about herself. And she's just doing some phenomenal things. So we want to talk to her as well.
Mm-hmm.
So them the ones I'm calling out right now.
Okay. Them on your list. You're on my list.
They on my list.
I know. Wanted poster. Wanted poster.
You gotta put a wanted ad out for them. We're looking for you. We're looking for you. And of course, there's a list, of people that they know, maybe that I may also know, but I don't know who all on their list, but I've, hear some names and stuff. But if there's somebody that you guys feel like, they have a great story, or there's something, maybe you went to an event they were hosting, or heard something about good that they were doing in the community, or something that you feel like some light should be shed on it, definitely reach out. You can send a message to the Things My Mother Never Told Me podcast page, or you can reach out to Uncle Damon directly, or myself, anybody, and we will, try to get in touch with them and ask them if they're interested to be on. And like I said, it's just a great platform. And as you heard, or maybe you didn't hear when we were kind of rattling off our numbers before, you may or may not have heard it, but we got some traction here. So we're reaching a lot of people. So it's worth definitely getting on here to hear and see.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Soul food for your ears, as you say.
Soul food for your ears.
Right. And we reaching, like we said earlier, we reaching some real nice numbers on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
We really need and would ask that you go out to our podcast repository, because Facebook, the beauty of Facebook is that it's visual,
Right. Mm-hmm.
because you can see us as well as hear us.
Just happening here.
So because of that, I started a YouTube channel, Things My Mother Never Told Me, that you can see this very video on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So after we finish and we clean everything up, we'll post that on YouTube. The other 10 episodes are already out there. So if you missed one, you can go out and watch it there. They're also all on the Things My Mother Never Told Me page. But I would love if you go to YouTube, if you just want to hear it, you're riding in your car or you're cleaning the house and you want to listen,
Mm-hmm.
Apple Podcasts,
Just download
Spotify.
that YouTube app, key in Things My Mother Never Told Me, and our faces will come right up.
Yep. Look,
See
I
that
just
little
went to
icon?
it so I can share a link with everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
Because
You don't have no excuse now. You're going to have a direct link and everything.
Right, because we actually go back and listen to them and watch them too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched about how I stuttered and didn't like my own voice. And like,
It's an acquired
look,
taste sometimes, your own voice.
Yes, it is.
No, it is. And like I said, so just going back and watching it revealed things about myself. You know what I'm saying? I said, I got to start practicing reading these bios. I got to start. I got to be better prepared. Yeah. And I'm up and said, I'm studying. I'm up and said, I don't know how this sounds. Look, did I pronounce this correctly?
Right. So,
Well, yeah.
So-
and I got to adjust my ums and my ums and amens. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's always the upward battle. As much as I've tried, I remember. Listen, funny story. I remember. I don't know how old I was, but I had this phase, which I may have this every now and again. But we would always say it's like. Uncle Damon, you may remember this, and you got on me. Listen to how many times you just said like.
yeah.
Stop saying like. I will never forget it. It was like she was like, he was like, then we was like, it was like. Oh my God, it does sound horrible now that I've stopped to think about what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know the problem.
Look at me.
That, right. Well, it's okay.
That's your conversation filler, though. That's our
I
saving
know.
grace.
That's showing that you listening to what's being said.
Mm-hmm.
But when you
Without
just talking,
interrupting.
right. But I'm telling you, my problem came when I joined Toastmasters 100 years ago, and I never really considered how many times people say and all those fillers until I got in Toastmasters. And once I did that, it almost ruined me, because there were people I used to listen to and I thought they were wonderful speakers. And after I got in Toastmasters, he said 75,000 times in 10 minutes. Right. And it so it kind of ruins you. But so sometimes it's stuff that we do, because even now I've gotten back into saying and ahs when I didn't used to do it, because I just do. I guess I don't care anymore.
There's some arenas where it's okay. I'm gonna say that.
Right. Sure it is. Yeah, sometimes we just gotta be.
We are who we are.
Yeah, sometimes we just gotta be mindful of.
Yep. And that's the thing. When it's distracting or takes away from what you're saying and the message you're trying to get, then okay, let's
Right.
take out 14 of those, please.
Right.
That's me.
Right. So what I want to do right now, because I in the notice I put on Facebook on my Facebook page, is whatever you call the thing. I asked people that if there was something that stood out in your mind during the first 10 episodes, if you want to comment on it, please bring those comments in, and we're going to try to be as interactive as we can right now while we're doing this. We started a little bit late, so we're going to run longer than the little hour that we normally do. So don't worry about that. And if there's, like Brandie said, just something that you want to see in the future, then let us know as well.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and don't be shy. Brandis is right there, man, the keyboard.
Yeah, just tell us what.
So here's something. Listen, here's something that came in from Dr. Esther. He said also he doesn't like his voice. So it's I know people who it's funny because I have a cousin that when the first time I heard myself talk, I was like, oh, I sound like, this cousin. And I'm like, why do I sound like this person? That's not how I hear myself. So that was, funny to me. So,
and I always sound country. I was like, dang, I sound like I'm real Southern.
Well, I'll tell you, and I know how, some people just do say stuff to say. I went to this class from this organization, Such a Voice, where they do voiceover training. And we were talking, I was talking with the instructor. And she said, well, you going to sign up to join and come in? I said, yeah. Well, why not? She said, we need Black male voices in the industry. And I said, well, and the first thing I said, well, I really don't like my voice. She said, nobody does. She said, for the most part, when people hear their voice, they don't like it. Because we don't sound like what we think we sound like.
Excellent.
And so when we hear it, we're the harshest critics of our own voice. So we should let the people decide how we sound and not us.
That's right. And if I sound good and it get me paid, I'm gonna talk all day.
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all like it? Okay, cool. Ching. give me another check. So there.
Okay, so you got also he provided Craig's number. So you have it on there.
Okay.
I can copy it and delete it so we ain't got the man's number dangling out there.
There you go. There you go.
Maybe like, well, geez, thank you. But can you not put my number for the world? So I'm actually gonna jot it down here.
Cool.
All right. Good.
Thank you, Doc. We appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll say this: Shakespeare's an acquired taste, but we went to a couple of his performances, and he does a wonderful job.
It was amazing. And I'm like you, I'm not a Shakespearean.
Right.
But I'm telling you, when we went and saw the play, it was very touching.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Right.
I was like, oh my goodness, it
Right.
even has laughter.
Sure.
You don't even expect those
Laugh or something like that.
Right. And I know that when he did the reading for his play, I'm trying to think, and Dr. Esther, he can chime in because him and Shelley, they were on there, of course. I know it was predominantly African American, the ones doing the roles, and it was amazing. Some of those young folks' acting skills, because they were just doing a reading, but I was believing it. I really was believing what they were delivering.
Mm-hmm.
I really, and I hated it when they said, "Okay, that's it, we're done." Really, we can't get another hour of this because it was excellent.
Yeah, I didn't look at my watch once.
No, and we were on
That's
there.
how Lee do it. He say that when you just start looking at your watch the first 15 minutes, you be like,
yeah, we weren't there
I
long
ain't
enough
gonna make it.
for them to have intermission.
So I don't see, I didn't see much chatter on that. So I also put out there to have people tell us if they want to answer the show's favorite question, our signature question here. So go ahead and drop that in there and share with us something.
oh yeah, because that's always a hard one for them. They always think we about to bash them out.
And they've been watching for 9 weeks now. So I feel like y'all should have an answer maybe. Right. Unless you're still stumped. Because today I was like, maybe I'm still stumped. But I think it was more so that I was trying to think of something that hadn't been said.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. And the thing is,
I was thinking of something that I'm like you, Brandis. I was thinking about something that hadn't been said also. And it was about I was just asking this to my sister. I gave the question to my sister, and she said, I wished I could have, Mom would have told me about choosing a mate. I was up there saying, really? She said, yeah, with domestic violence, this. I said, my mom has been married 6 times and married one of them twice.
So what was she gonna share with you?
So
So you needed her to actually
Then I
say
said-
it. Oh, okay. When you didn't seen it and lived it, but you needed her to.
yeah,
And those are things too that I thought, I'm like, well, my mama, she didn't have to say that because I seen it and was like, okay, this is a good lesson. I'm pulling this out of this. I get it. She didn't have to say it, but I got the message from it.
Right. And you know the thing about it is that it's not an earth-shattering question.
Mm-mm.
It just sounds like it is, because I know the biggest problem we had with respondents were those whose mother is still alive. They were the ones that they were the hardest at answering the question. So it's not a dig on your mother.
It's not, but I think we should give them a heads up on it though, and that way they're.
Well, they
Think
should
about
watch.
something.
They should watch the show.
The show. I mean, I would go and watch. Like, you gonna have me on what show? Let me go click around
Right.
or something.
Yeah, what y'all
You
do?
got out there, because maybe I don't want to be on here. I may like y'all as people, but y'all show may be a sham or something.
Yeah,
That's right.
You know how everybody don't. We don't want to disclose everything. That's why we
Yeah,
was talking
you get on
about,
here and y'all trying to punk me or something.
Right. Right. Well, how y'all gonna play us? We invite you on
Debt
this
collector on here talking about.
show. Right. Yeah, we
We've
got
been looking for you. We've been trying to get in touch with you about your car's extended warranty. And I'm just kidding, guys. But
Right.
yeah.
I know, but you know what? Our parents just didn't talk like that back then, no. As we are, because like you say, even though me and my daughter didn't talk, well, like I said, when she was younger, I was always giving her instruction, of course. But parents still just don't. It's not until now that we didn't start it, because I guess you millennials are making. Yeah, we are having those conversations.
No way around the conversation, I think, because either somebody gonna learn it from somewhere else at school or from friends or something. So it's like, let me get a jump on the conversation. And I definitely agree that it's way more open now as, parents, people that I've seen parent, and my peers that I see parent in those conversations. They're like, I don't remember talking about that with my mama. Or I was like, mama. I call my mom Little Shirley, guys. Little Shirley, don't come over here. I want to talk about that. I wasn't calling her that then, but and I shut her down,
Right.
Now stuff, and even just reading and hearing and seeing younger people say like, oh, my mom's my best friend, which I think, is a big one that like, I'm trying to remember a time where I felt like me and my mom have an amazing relationship, but I don't know if I ever say my mama my best friend, and that's no disrespect to her.
Right.
It's just, I think the boundary that I realized that it's like, I don't know if I'll tell my best friend that, but I ain't gonna tell my mama that. So how can I give her that title knowing that I'm not gonna,
Right. But that's a respect thing, though.
Yeah.
It
And
is.
now they best friends, they close in age, they go out together, the mama, the daughter and the grandma going out together.
Yes.
Right.
And the great granddaddy at Uncle somebody house.
Right. Exactly.
Because when we had Reverend April on, and we was talking about domestic violence in the church, Christian home, and like you said, we didn't talk about that.
It's a lot of stuff we talk about.
And we still won't reveal stuff now.
Even today, yeah.
Yeah, because I hear about most of my mother's stories through, when we were going to family reunions and somebody had a little too much.
Yeah. It comes out then.
It comes out in, and I'll be like, oh, okay, then. So, when did it happen here?
People say stuff now because you grown.
True.
And she gone. So people are more apt to say stuff now. They I remember back then because it's funny now. It wasn't funny back then. So when it was going on, we're not going to talk about that because it ain't funny. Serious business. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we had somebody share one and help me with the last name. It looks like Miss Bridgeforth, Linda.
Okay, that's Linda Bridgeforth.
Okay, Miss Linda. She said,
hey, Linda.
I wish she told me more about the aches and pains of growing old. She never complained. And that one.
That is too. You're right.
I'm telling you, when I hit 30, and I know I ain't old, y'all. Don't judge me, but I feel I'm 32 now. But when I hit 30, I feel like on my 30th birthday, I rolled over and was like, oh, my back.
She is.
And I don't know if that was mental or not.
Probably.
She's so right about that, because you know what? People my age, and I'm not to say that, but I'm 50 plus, 60 plus. They struggling with diabetes.
The sugar.
That's what they call it, right?
The sugar.
Yeah,
they
that's
got
what
they
they
got
call
the
it.
sugar.
You know, I'm just saying, we're struggling with high blood pressure. You know, going so far as having limbs cut off, and we still, you know, we done saw a dietitian. You know, we still care less of what the doctor is saying. He's giving us pre-warning, telling us what we can do, setting us up with the appointments, and we still refuse.
I think that's something my mom shared, because I shared the status that we were doing, you know, the recap episode today. So I asked her, like, hey, what's something, you know, that you wish your mother had shared? And I think health was one of the things on there. Like health, you know, challenges, and be mindful of your health, because, you know, we just saw people eat good and eat all this food and fried food and all this good stuff, and it's like there's some repercussions coming behind if you're gonna eat 22 pieces of fried chicken, you know, every day.
Not to mention cakes
and pies and all that good stuff.
So we can't eat 22 pieces of chicken. How about 20?
No,
not even 20.
17 is
It's
a
limit.
sufficient number. Keep it at 17. You'll be all right.
Right. And mind you, this is not medical advice we're issuing here
At all. Take your pressure pills. Work out.
Right,
drink your water. Do all that good stuff.
Do what your paid physician tells you.
Hey.
It ain't me.
Right. And so it's
Entertainment purposes only.
only. Right. But you know, it's like, and again, that's the genesis of the show, is that so much has changed over the years that, and like I said, when the thought came to me to name it this, it was just a thought that so much has changed since my mother died that she didn't have opportunity to tell me. And so, like y'all were just saying, what about it in our daily lives? When do we have opportunity to just sit down and say, okay, look here, this is what you need to know? Because if it doesn't come up, we don't bring it up.
How do you get around to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and unless some tragedy happened.
That's usually how we start talking about stuff, when tragedy happens. And so
We gotta, you know, do a better job of not waiting until then.
right.
Yes.
Yeah. So what we got out there? So the folks is being silent today.
The folks, they being pretty quiet. Carlos says congratulations on reaching the milestone, 10 episodes. Well, this is the 11th, but you know, 10 successful episodes. So thank you, Carlos. Carlos was on one of the previous episodes. You guys may remember him. Young guy, has the 930 marketing, also is a songwriter, and who else knows 500 other things he probably told us that he was doing.
Yeah, the song project.
The song project, yeah, that was it. That was the title of the episode. I should remember that, maybe.
Episode 5.
Episode 5. I Am Song.
Right.
So yeah, thank you for that.
And so everybody know that on our host site, which is Buzzsprout, we reached 10 of that. Let me shut up. We reached 1,000 downloads this week. We were at 750 downloads last week, and so we're peaking on that venue on Facebook. On Facebook, we're well over 3,000 or 4,000 views. Because like I said, the one episode alone has over 1,400, and then the second highest one, and I haven't checked the numbers this week, is over 900. And then we have 3 or 4 of them that are over 600. So we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, we thank you for your support. We're glad we have content that you're interested in, and the best is yet to come.
Yeah, still more. Jacoya popped in. She says credit, and she she assumed that's probably something that people have brought up, and I think we heard that how many times?
3 or 4.
3 or 4 already. Yeah. So that's a huge one. Like I said, my mom talked about credit. It was just don't mess your credit up. It wasn't okay. How do I, not mess it up? What's the steps I need once I get credit? How do I, maintain it and everything like that? So that was one that we heard. This so far.
And we heard the other one where one of them, I'm not gonna say her name, said her mother. Remember, she had a hard time coming up with something. Then she said, "Oh yeah, my mother had so many credit cards, and she made it look easy, and so she thought, oh, it's easy.
Go get the credit card.
Get the credit card.
You want to give me this free money?"
Right. And so it wound up. wound up being a issue. And I will like to say this, that on episode 8, Let's Talk Schools, Miss Lakia Wilson Lumpkins was on, and she's the vice president of Detroit Federation of Teachers. And she talked about how they had just taken that vote for it's determine whether they were going back to school, how they were going to do it. And they were still negotiating the hows and the whats and the wins. And she said something was coming. And I think 2 days later, they announced that they had reached an agreement on how to go back. Still going to be a struggle with that thing, because this is no easy issue.
Yeah.
We see all the craziness up in East Lansing and on our college campuses around the country, actually, with outbreaks of positive tests of COVID-19. And some of the knucklehead reasons people are saying. This one young man was having a party in East Lansing, violating the amount of people. And then they found out that he had tested positive like 2 days before.
And still went ahead with his party. Oh,
and he said, yeah, but he said, why aren't you supposed to be quarantined? He said, I am. I'm staying at home.
And I'm going to have all them come and get it.
Right. They come. He lived in a frat house.
He lived in a frat house, yes.
It's amazing. It really is. It really is. Oh, and a couple other people, I'm going to throw them out there too. Miss Karen Williams. She worked in the EPA, in some form with the state.
Environment protection.
With the state, where she did environmental protection with the state, and she's retired. And she's supposed to be coming on. We got to get in contact with her and set up the date and time, the date that she's coming on, so she can talk about the things that she encountered as she worked dealing with our environmental issues. Because I'm sure she might have something to talk about Flint.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, definitely some highlights on that. And not only that, she's my hustle instructor too.
Yeah, she's a hustle instructor. Who knew?
So, yeah, that's what she likes doing in retirement.
Yeah, and so we got a lot. And like I say, to the folks out there, if you got something that you're doing and you enjoy it, whether whether it's what we want to hear, people want to hear or not, drop us a line and let us look it over and see.
Yep.
Because everybody's not going to be selected to come on there, but everybody's not going to be turned down either.
Yeah, because I just think about, excuse me, the most recent episode with you'd have said trap shooting, I'd have been like, who? What?
Right.
And if it was up to me to have a guest, I'm like, I don't know if your audience want to hear that, but that's not what it's about. It's bringing information to people to give it a chance for the platform or the audience to decide if it's something they want to do, and which I found that I want to go trap shooting now.
I do too, and I can't wait till we make a date.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they have a program for women, at least as far as it's teaching you training you how to shoot, so that
it's just interesting.
It is.
I found it very interesting.
And the funny thing about it is that within 2-3 days after it aired, members of his club have sent me friend requests. They thanked us for airing the show.
Okay.
So they said we glad this information about us is finally getting out to other people that's in the just other than people in the trap shooting community.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
And
Somebody to see it somewhere, and I think you said this in the episode, or maybe in several episodes. If people don't know something, they're less likely to go out venturing out, for things if you're not that type of person. But if something comes on my table in front of me, on something I watch every week, it's like, oh, I hear this a little differently now, or I see this a little differently now. When
right, exactly.
Now you got eyes and ears on it.
Exactly. Because we do have, I got to talk with her, young lady who's an archery. She does archery. She's an instructor and she does archery. And so we want to have her on, like the trap shoot. We want to have some archery shooting.
I want to know Hunger Games influenced any of that.
Oh my goodness, I tried to watch.
Wouldn't that be something? Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. Yes, yeah.
They wanted me to download an app. And I was like, I'm not. The Hunger Games is about 10 years old at this point. It should be for free.
I know.
On all these platforms.
Right.
You better know it. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about as soon as we were talking about it. As soon as he had mentioned it to me, I said, oh, I wondered did Hunger Games influence any of that?
No,
did they get more?
no. it influenced Hunger Games.
Gun Games, yeah.
Yeah.
Make me think of what's Hawkeye on Marvel.
Yeah, on the
Marvel,
Avengers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Avengers. So
yeah, because you know
Okay.
Robin Hood and all that. You know.
all them, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The,
So
the
that's
arch,
the
the archery dude, always the sexy one. He shoot the bow and arrow,
All right, guys.
and so that then they got the women doing it now, and it's like, oh, look at her.
I know. I can do that too.
Because again, just like trap
That's right.
shooting, that's an Olympic sport.
Mm.
Yeah,
But I used to like throwing darts.
Okay. Yeah. I remember y'all had a dart.
we still got it. It's just in the
Mhm.
box.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did. I like throwing darts.
Because that's serving all the purpose.
Well, when we moved, it's one of the
Okay,
things
just I got you.
Yeah,
Never-
didn't unpack.
didn't
Yeah.
come out of storage when we moved. But it's still
Yeah.
it's readily accessible.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we changed a few things around. So yeah, it is accessible now.
You got 5 other hobbies now that you running shows and podcasts, and your time is a little spent doing other
Yeah. And I'm still trying to do some stuff. I'm still trying to do some more stuff. I was hustling 3-4 days a week, and I'm like, you gotta slow down and get some stuff done.
getting it moving, rolling.
I
Right,
know. I
right.
want to hula hoop and all that
Right.
stuff.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is funny.
yeah, I'm doing. Yeah,
So
I'm
Brandon,
keeping busy.
Brandon, they don't want to play with us.
No, they ain't talking. They stay here, like literally watching, not going anywhere, but they
Yes.
here listening
Okay.
to us rat along.
All right then.
Thank
God
you
looks
for-
good
I'm
on you
glad
too.
we good to look at and
I
listen to.
know.
Yeah.
God looks good on you too.
Yeah, y'all-
Oh, there was something that I was gonna highlight or I don't know, it's some slipped me, guys. I think it was a technical issue that messed me up trying to remember it.
Uh,
Oh,
I understand. But
there's that.
yeah.
Right.
So,
There's
yeah.
always something. And I'm surprised. I don't know if any of my cast tech folks out there. I know they were out there earlier before we had the technical difficulties. I saw them.
That made me remember. Thanks. See?
Okay. I was just say there we go.
See, there we go. So I think one thing that you've like consistently highlighted within the guests is asking them what school they went to. And I think
put that
so
down,
far,
too.
but except 1 or 2, right? We're all Detroit public school, educated. And again, just to, highlight it and applaud them and clap for them as well. Like
Yes.
people look at Detroit as this, you can't amount to much. Is you got a couple of options if you're coming out of Detroit and educated by the Detroit public school system.
Mhm.
Granted, we know there are challenges and opportunities and areas for growth for the school system, but it still amounts to, who you become as a person, of what you do with what you were given. You may have only been dealt four cards in your deck, but look at you now, you know what I'm saying? So amazing that, we've been able to highlight that and see people who are very successful in our community and impacting the community as they are, and they are Detroit, public school.
Right.
Now,
Right.
and my former pastor that's deceased now, Wilma R. Johnson, used to say, a good C in college is good.
That's right.
Right. Right.
It opened up doors for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People are just so scared,
Right. And it's funny because even though it like one of them who didn't go to Detroit public schools went to HBCU.
Mhm.
And that's the other thing that's important to me, that we see that you can be an HBCU graduate and be successful, because I know a lot of folks that are HBCU people, graduates. In my church, it's almost like a third of all the high school graduates in a given year go to HBCU.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's wonderful. And in fact, there's another one I want to call out too. I talked to his father. I haven't reached out to him yet, but Davy Johnson out there in California. I need
Call him out, Uncle.
I need you to come on. I talked to your father. He's supposed to be getting with you, but he older than me, so he got stuff on his mind other than me. What I asked him. So if he hasn't reached out to you or told you, because he's supposed to be talking to you the other day, come on. Yeah, you got some good stuff that you and your wife both, you and Corinne both, y'all doing some fantastic stuff. You were doing it in DC, and you're still doing stuff out in California. So, hey, Zoom. That's what
It's
we
real
do.
simple.
It's
Look,
real
it's
simple.
real simple. We fix it up real nice and easy. You ain't gotta do too much. Just block out an hour for us, and we get you in and out. And
That's right.
Yeah,
Don't
no.
hold you up.
Yeah, no, don't cost you nothing but a little bit of time.
a little bit.
But you'll be helping innumerable people with your story. Because I know Corinne, what she's doing, she's got a blog that she does for mothers, if I'm not mistaken. And so she has a lot of stuff going on with what she's doing. And Davey, if I'm not mistaken, he's at Netflix now. Yeah, he used to be at Net Geo,
Okay.
National Geographic, but I think he's at Netflix now. So come on. Yeah.
Come on back. Come
But
on.
y'all balling.
He was doing, he was doing scripts, and little plays, and
Right.
and started right out of the church too.
Yeah, they said it was funny. I was like, because I'm they're friends on Facebook. That his son, youngest son, I think it was anyway, one of his sons was at school, and they played this thing about animals to this class.
Mm-hmm.
And his son said, "Hold on, my daddy did that."
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I thought that was great. Not only did he do it, but they know it.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, one of his sons was on
Little Big Shots.
Kids Say the Strangest Things.
Oh, okay.
The one with Tiffany Haddish.
Okay.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, he was on there a couple times.
Couple of times. And
Yeah.
He was what, 5
Yeah, so
or less than that?
or less than that. So
yeah.
So the kids they young and they doing stuff.
Train up a child in the way he should go.
Right. And so the reason why I even say that is because we want to put it out there that it's available to you. And mind you, and they're both graduates of Howard University as well. And so we want to put it out there that it's available to you. And I think Doc and Shelly Esther's daughter, Taylor, all their kids, all of their kids are just doing wonderful stuff. Taylor's in law school.
Blessed.
She's in law school right now. And and when she was younger, she was with a group called Tapping Souls or something like that. They did tap dance. When my lodge, we had our scholarship bank, we actually had them come and perform at it, and then they performed at the church anniversary thing at the Charles Wright Museum.
Okay.
And they were very good. So, but she's going to be a lawyer. So from tapping,
Nice.
yes, from tapping in the with the shoes to tapping with the gavel. I know judgeship ain't too far away. Yeah.
Ms. Linda said you should ask Ryan to talk about the
Oh.
insurance changes.
Thank you, Linda, because I had Ron on my mind last week to get with him, and you're absolutely right. Ron Betty, Linda's son, is my insurance agent, and so yeah, we're going to get with Ron and have him come on and talk about this stuff.
Yeah, because there's
Yeah.
also could be things my mother never told me, but it don't have to come from your mama. It's come from somebody. Some information came from somewhere.
Right.
So in 5 years, you ain't like, oh, I ain't nobody to ever tell me about getting my insurance right.
That's right.
Yeah, we want to stop driving dirty, and we want to see what they can do to help us.
Right.
Because there has been some. Yeah, I know some. They sent me a letter about some stuff, and I'm like, what? What's the bottom line of this letter that you? What's the end game of this that you said? Am I gonna save some money?
Right. That's right. We want to save some money.
I know.
Yeah, come on and tell us how and what we need to know about our
Right.
policies to call them, because most times when changes like that happen, they don't call and tell you, break it down fully for you. They waiting on you to reach out and be like, by the way, I know that I can get $50 back if I switch to X, Y, and Z or do this and that and the third.
Mhm.
Right. And to his story, he was with State Farm for years, and then he's branched out. He has his own insurance agency now.
Oh wow! So yeah, definitely gotta want to hear that.
Right. So yeah. Thank you, Linda. We appreciate that.
You
Thank
got
you,
that
thank
part
you.
right.
And that's the kind of stuff we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what this show is all about.
Right. And we got another young man down. He lives down in Georgia, right outside Atlanta. He's a teacher, and he's also a high school basketball coach, and he does AAU. And I was speaking with him last week, and we're going to see when we can get him on, because he wants to talk. What we're going to talk about, I'm telling him now if you're listening, because he got a lot of stuff he want to talk about. We want to talk about how young people should plan for their future, not just in sports. Make educate, because he said, he said when he talks to his kids, that's what he tell them, that education is the priority, not playing basketball, not playing football, but education is, because I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you make it to the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, hockey. I don't care if you make it to any of them. When you get at a certain age or a certain physical condition, your career is over.
That's right.
And so now what you gonna do? So we're gonna talk about that. And so that made me think.
What?
What you got now?
I gotta reach out to.
This is what we deal with, viewers. We both are just like, what you got now? And we execute it. We make it happen.
I gotta reach out to Linda and Ken Curtis. They're out in Vegas. They used to be here. Their son plays hockey.
Black.
Okay.
It was so funny because he came here a couple years ago, and I took him.
That's like trap
to
shooting.
a camp in Michigan, Michigan State.
You got a few of them.
And while we were there, for the most part, he was the only African American there. And then when they started, getting into the little session, another black guy came there, and it was like, all right, you see, I could see him light up. And so we want to talk about that, about what it's like. Especially being young, and maybe we can, I don't know, just dispel some myths or open eyes to some realities.
Oh, there are some
about what it's like for him going through that at a young age, if his parents are willing and if he's willing to talk about it. So I got to reach out to them, and we got to make some accommodations on that because of the time difference.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good. But education.
We can't stress it enough.
Can't stress it enough. That's why I'm going back to school in 2 weeks.
You said in 2 weeks or
in 2
weeks?
In 2 weeks.
In
2 weeks, I'm starting classes.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Because
Let's see.
Never too old.
Okay, Miss Jonetta Wyckoff.
Wyckoff.
She says she has a couple people in mind, so give her a call.
Okay.
And she'll share those people with you. She think they would be a great asset.
Oh, so she don't want to be like me. She ain't gonna call them out.
No, she gonna talk to you about them.
I think I know.
Thank you for that. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you, Joni. And I think I know who one of them is.
Look at him. He trying to call them out, and you was
I ain't gonna say no names, but I think I know who one of them is. If it is not them, I'm about to write.
They on your list anyway. Look, I'm jotting them down anyway.
I'm about to write their name down.
Yeah, that's good. We can get this information out to the people. I'm telling you.
And like I said, it's that we are afforded by God's grace and in such positions, places He put us in. We are afforded the opportunity to know a lot of people who do a lot of great things and do a lot of interesting things as well. And we're also afforded to know people who likewise have done great things, who've done interesting things, who've done things that can help other people. And so that's what this is, like Tynia just said, that's what this is all about. It's about us trying to help our folks grow.
Absolutely.
That time with social injustice and all those things like that going on, but nothing can stop us. We still prevail.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we constantly showing the negative and constantly being oppressed, but the positive will shine through.
That's right. And we're gonna highlight it.
And we're gonna highlight it. That's right.
Right.
Because there's a lot of us doing great things, but
Great things.
they like to keep us down. So, the world tried to keep us down.
Exactly. What you see, Brandise? Anybody else out there?
No, that was the last thing that came through there, but steady holding. They still here. So, hey, and I see some more people jumped in. So good evening to all of you. We just recapping the last 10 episodes of Things My Mother Never Told Me. Thanks so much. If you're a new watcher today, a new viewer, or if you know, a faithful one that's here with us every Wednesday at 6:30. Again, we appreciate you, and thanks for all your continued support and energy that you guys bring. When we see you guys showing up right when that countdown hit, even when we late, y'all message us. One of us like, excuse me, what's
going on? Yeah.
So thank you so much. That means that we doing something good, and that's what the purpose I think was set out to be. So.
And all you listeners that always tune in, everything, what jumps out at you about our show? You know, how can we improve it? That's one of the things.
Don't be scared.
We want to know what you like about the show besides us. Look.
Yeah, you can say it there because either we gonna listen to it or we not. but we take all critiques to heart, and we do the best we can to make it work. We also at this time we I don't know if we did it earlier, but we want to thank all our guests that we've had on so far.
Oh yes.
Reverend Dr. Craig Esther, Reverend Dr. April Hearn,
Yay!
Reverend Carnell Richardson,
yes,
Danielle Ragland.
Woo! Funny.
You throwing me off.
I'm sorry.
Danielle Ragland.
You gotta do it like at the graduation. Please hold your applause.
Yeah.
I know.
That's
my baby.
I know. I get so excited about everything.
Wilson, Lumpkins. Look, I'm going through the shit because I ain't trying to remember all y'all.
Carlos and Carlos Whitlow.
Carlos Whitlow, Charles Primus, Jason Marzette.
Yes. Woo.
We thank each and every one of you for wanting to share. Even though the stuff that you're doing is good stuff, interesting stuff, everybody that isn't comfortable getting on talking about what's going on, and we appreciate that you were willing to share with other people that what you're doing, so that maybe if nothing else, maybe they can help you.
That's right.
It's out there in the clouds, so I tell you, it'll always be there. It'll always be there. So somebody's gonna click in. I don't care, and it don't have to be one of us that's watching now. Just going out there, just checking things on YouTube. It's gonna
something to catch your attention. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and if Linda Bridgeforth, if you still out there, we wanna talk to the Midnight Golf folks. We want to talk to them if you're still out there. If you ain't out there, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And if you're not, so do me a favor and run down all the places that we are, so that they'll know. Outside of, we're here on Facebook, of course.
Lord,
yes.
Where else can you listen or watch?
You
for
can
those that just joined.
Right. You can watch us on Facebook and on YouTube. Things my mother never told me, because the videos I post all of them, like this one right here, onto YouTube. Things my mother never told me. On Facebook, we share them over to Things My Never Told Me Facebook page. My mother never told me Facebook page, so you can see them there. If you have friends who don't have Facebook, excuse me, that's where the YouTube channel came about, because somebody asked me about that. So go to YouTube.
Okay.
We're also on Spotify. For you non-Apple users. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're soon to be on Amazon. If Amazon is going to start a podcast thing, so we signed up for that. As soon as they started, we'll be there. We're on Podchaser.
My goodness.
Everywhere.
Yeah, just about. We're still trying to get into a couple more places, but just about. We want to make it easy for everybody to be able to, if not view us, listen. Because what you can do, you're cleaning your house, you're driving in your car, you're chilling out there on the back porch, and you just want to hear our beautiful voices. Go ahead and log into one of those sites and check us out.
That's right. Check it out.
You'll find something worth listening to, I tell you.
Yeah. And Tynia's smile comes through in her voice too. So you don't
every
just,
time.
Right, you don't just see her smile. You don't just see her smile. You hear her smile.
Look, and I'm up here talking about I'm gonna be holding back because I cackle too much.
Oh, look at that! Look, and there's merchandise. Listen, you have the shirts. We posted the shirts, the t-shirts.
Right. And these mugs we're going to do. And so Brandise, who was the first person that was on today? Do you know?
Nope, because the countdown was rolling. Now, the first person that said anything was Auntie.
Nanny made the first comment?
Yeah.
Okay, so she made the first comment, so we'll do that. So because she was the first person to comment, we're going to send her a mug, a coffee mug, tea mug, things my mother never told me.
All right. Woo! All right,
So
Danny.
she'll be getting that in the mail, and we'll do it, and we'll think of some other stuff. We'll do some folks that
That's a nice little
share with
surprise.
us, right?
Yeah.
Who was the first person that recommended somebody?
I want to say that was Miss Linda. Stand by while I scroll.
All right. Oh, this is fun.
Yep. I think it was.
It was Miss Linda.
Well, I mean, Dr. Esther gave you the number for his brother, or I don't know if that's his brother. I didn't make that up.
No, that's his son. That's
his son for Craig. Okay.
Well, he didn't give me. He's supposed to get in contact with Todd, so he get points taken away.
Points deducted. So yeah, it would be Miss Linda.
Right, and plus he all of our guests that have appeared on the show, if someone out there that I haven't spoken to yet, you'll be receiving a T-shirt, a Things My Mother Never Told Me T-shirt.
All right.
Either in black or gray, whichever is your preference. Just let me know what your size is, and I'll get you a shirt to you. So, Linda, I'll be bringing you a mug as well.
All right.
I'll see you on Monday. Or Tynia, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
At the golf
see you
course.
tomorrow.
So she'll bring your mug to you tomorrow at the golf course.
Let's see. Got some comments here. Let me catch up. So Jazz just said, hey, she was doing some business stuff, but she hopped on, said, hey.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. Then we have Miss Alicia Walker.
Okay.
I don't remember what her question was too, but it was how about the last person? Oh, how about the last person on? I guess she said last to show up. That's funny. And then my mom Cheryl, she said, thank you for including the young people and allowing them to share their stories.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then Auntie says, thank you.
All right.
And Miss Linda said thank you too.
That was them, the ones that's getting the mugs said thank you.
Yeah, now they available. Hey, thank you. No, I'm not been extra. No,
Right, she has. Yeah, Jerry. We I think it's important that we hear from the young voices. We want to hear from our more seasoned people as well, but all the young people that we can get on here, we're going to have them on here because we need to encourage them as they strive to be the best they can be. And so one of our upcoming guests, and I got to talk to her, Taylor Deal Reese, she'll be on in a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. She'll be on. We got to nail down her schedule. She has her own business. She's a single mom. She's bought a house. She's rehabbing that. She's trying to uplift in the community. So I want to talk to her about her journey, about her battle, trying to work with us. You know how it is when we're working with us. It ain't always easy.
Right.
So I'm letting her know. I don't know if she's listening or not, but if you know, I'll let her know that I did talk to her a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to have her on soon. Like I said, next week we have Philip Lewis on, and then she'll either be on the week after that or the week after.
Ooh, all these up and coming.
Yeah, I want to talk to these young
people.
folks.
Ooh,
I really
all
do.
these. I tell you, millennials ain't playing.
And I said this before. I'll say it again because they inspired me, Brandise, and I can't say her name. Rochelle, what's her name? Lachelle, your partner on the podcast. Shelly. Yeah, Shelly. Let's say Shelly. Yeah, y'all inspired me to do this podcast. When I watch your podcast on Friday nights, and I said, "Oh, okay, Brandise, them doing it. Let me talk to Brandise and see what's happening." Remember, I asked you what was going on, and you told me who you used to host and how you went about setting it up, and so from there it was like, boom, let's go.
Yep, hit the ground running, and I was like, now that's some, because me, like I said, when on the first episode we did when we chat, I was like, I wrestled with it for a little bit, but you had been thinking about it, you shared, that you were thinking about it and never got around to it, but once you hit the ground, you were feet to the ground running. So that's admirable.
Right.
And that's inspiring me, back. So it's going both ways, the transaction of it all.
Right. And that's the beauty of it. That's why we have your young folk, because y'all got the energy, and John Legend and Common song Glory, in Common's rap, he said it takes the wisdom of the old folks and the young folks' energy for us to get there. And so
Facts.
We're gonna do our part.
Right.
We are gonna do our part.
Because y'all doing so much stuff, and like, sometimes.
And multiple,
Right.
multitasking for real.
And
Multiple, not just 1 and 2, y'all 3 and 4 over here, some of this, some of that.
I know, and dipping and dabbing with us. I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
Right. So,
hey,
so that's the beauty of it. So we can.
Our time like this was used in overtime at work. We wasn't doing all this extra.
and that was my other issue too, because work was, that's the beauty of retiring. Because most of us who retire, we know one thing: work gets in the way of you doing what you really want to do.
So, yeah.
But to you young entrepreneurs and the older ones too, you took a chance, and you're taking a chance to live your dream and make it happen, and forsaking working for somebody else.
100%,
For us of a certain age, most, especially in our community, that was kind of hard to do.
Yeah,
it was super risky.
And we was trying to tell y'all to do it. We was trying to tell y'all to do it when we raising you up. Get you a good job, get in there, stay in there.
Yeah.
Do what you're told.
Get you something with benefits.
Yeah, that's all we was saying. And look, now y'all be like, bump that. I'll get my own money.
But we understood. I think we understood where it was, the place that it came from. You know what I'm saying? Why you were saying it, and we heard you, but then we was like, now wait a minute, this place did me wrong 14 times. How long I'm supposed to stay here?
Well, and also the job market has caused it too, because the way employers are doing now is not like when we were coming up. You got a job back when we got one. Well, what back in the day? if you got a job, look, I got a job. I started working for the government when I was 30, and I was there 30 years. Wasn't no risk. Wasn't no, they retirement. The job was there, retirement thing. Now the benefits wasn't all that great, but Tynia worked for Blue Cross. Benefits was great.
Benefits were great. Yeah.
So our retirement package at the government was good, and I was afforded the ability to move up the ladder without having to have a college degree. So that helped. But now, because I don't know who I was talking to a couple of weeks ago, but the job that I retired from, you got to have a PhD to get that job coming off the street.
Wow.
But because I was there, I was able to use experience and connections and learn how to do certain things to move up the ladder.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Right. So it made it easier for us. But coming in,
stick it out.
Yeah. But coming in off the street, if you ain't got some kind of degree, you got a problem.
Yeah. No.
So that's why we stress education on here, because there are some places you can't get without that paper, and it ain't got to be in any specific category. It's got to be some paper, from somewhere that said that you're gonna stick with it. But then the retirement programs they have in a lot of jobs, you got to put almost all your money in. They ain't putting nothing in for you.
Yeah, we got grandfathered. We got grandfathered benefits, so we can retire a little bit,
right? So
without having to work in 2 and 3 more jobs after you retire.
Right. So
praise God, thank you.
Right. So we've been on here a while.
Look, I look down and laugh because I'm like, people still coming in here. Wait, where they coming from?
That's because they still scrolling and we ain't got off of here yet.
Right.
We still on here tickled.
Right.
But thanks for inviting people. If you had invited or shared the live and you have people watching, thanks so much for inviting them to see, and maybe next week they'll join us again.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Yeah, because like I said, we've been on a while. And me and Brandise run our mouths a lot. And Tynia joined in too. She play like she don't.
She get done with us and be like, all right, good night.
But she do get done with us.
She does
definitely
consistently get done with us. And I'm
right.
my own head.
And
she got to go cook.
And I'm always looking at I'm up
the time, keeping us on time.
I know, because that's the thing about it. We gotta stick to
Whatever.
This one with the ish. You know, he like ish.
He fun. He heavy on the ish.
He's heavy on the
Heavy
ish.
on the ish.
6:30-ish.
I know.
Till 9 o'clock.
For y'all,
I know.
and for y'all that don't know, we'll share the inside joke. When we started doing our music on Facebook, we started on Facebook Live, right? Doing music, and they finally got sick of us. Because it got to be a game where, you know, we played too many songs, they would kick us off, and our listeners would be ready, because I would have another session set right up, and I just push a button, and as soon as I push live, they were right there with us, and we were only doing an hour, and then it started getting good, and we started an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes, and so we started saying it's an hour-ish. Heavy on the ish. And so now the show that we do on Mixcloud is 2 hours.
Ish.
You're right. It's 2 hours ish. I was on for 2 hours and 35 minutes the other day, yesterday, doing the old school. But for those who don't know, on Mixcloud, I posted every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday on my Facebook page that we do, well, I do. Gospel on Sunday from 4:30 to 6:30, and those times are going to change a little bit because every other Sunday I'll be bowling, and Tuesday I'll be in class. But 4:30 to 6:30 on Tuesday, 4:30 to 6:30, and we do old school gospel on Sunday, and Thursday we do jazz from 4:30 to 6:30.
That's what I'm saying. He just.
So y'all busy.
I'm tired.
Well, the thing about it is that
Tired.
she's tired, but I like listening to the music myself.
I like listening to the music.
So
that's what
why,
I do.
So that's why, yeah, she sits. For those who keep asking me where she at, she right in the other room listening, just like y'all.
Enjoying.
She right in the other room listening.
She a guest.
I'm a guest. That's right.
Yeah, so.
You know how I am about time.
So there we go. So,
but anyway, I sure thank y'all for all listening.
Right. And
I tell you, I'm hoping y'all enjoying it, and I hope that in the shows to come, that we have content that you're interested in, and we'd love to hear about.
Right, and we'll be back again on next Wednesday at 6:30 with Mr. Philip Lewis of HuffPost.com. So,
all right.
And also of what I say is his thing was. What was about the email? I gotta have it in front of me because I don't remember stuff like that.
My peace sign was premature.
Per my last email.
Oh yeah.
Per my last email. So check him out. I know he's gonna have some great stuff to talk about, just like all our guests have had. And so, Brandise, you done?
I'm all set.
All right, we appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
See y'all on the rest of it.
All right,
see you next week
with
episode 12.
Everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.